Welcome everybody to WrestleMania Sunday. It is Wrestling with Emotion, and we are back because we had such a wonderful time yesterday. We had to just bring it back around. And WrestleMania Night 1, guys, I would say exceeded expectations, I would say the least. Let's get to the results of last night, and then we'll talk about Night 1 before we get into the Night 2 predictions and everything else. So Night 1, John Cena losing to Austin Theory. Austin Theory low blow, little bit of ref bump. He gets the win there. Seth Rollins beating Logan Paul after one of the craziest, I guess, table spots I've seen in WrestleMania history. Trish, Lita, and Becky getting the win, making the crowd happy there. Street Profits in a crazy tag team showcase. Rey Mysterio takes down Dom Mysterio in a battle of family that I don't think is quite over yet. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. We can just save words for when we talk about that. And then obviously in the main event, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. One, not too good for the bloodline. All of that. I'm going to start with you, Mo, and we'll go to Slick. Just anything, whichever you want to talk about.
You forgot a match. The return of Pat McAfee to take on The Miz. You forgot
the best match, actually.
Dude, my buddy. So I was where I was watching last night. My buddy Jeremy. Shout out to him. The second that whole thing started, where it's like I put out a challenge, and he immediately goes, "It's gonna be McAfee. McAfee's gonna walk out. McAfee's gonna walk out because he's a McAfee mark. He watches every single episode on YouTube, and he follows him instinctively. And he was following him all day after what happened at Rumble. He's like, I can guarantee you McAfee's gonna be there. And the second that started, he's like, it's gotta be McAfee.
He was right.
Was McAfee dropping hints all day or on his shows or something?
I looked. He wasn't dropping any hits on Twitter.
No, but
He was in Phoenix on Friday, though. He was at the Suns game, so he was in the vicinity at the very least.
I personally didn't see it, but apparently he was being very nonchalant about his weekend plans and not being like, oh, my weekend is planned like this, but kind of being a little obvious about it, apparently. So he's like, yeah, he's going to be there. There's no way he's going to be there.
There you go.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
But overall, first night, pretty great. I'll say Cena Theory was like the low spot of the card, I think. And I think that's just because Cena hasn't wrestled in so long. So you see, like, I don't know, he didn't seem too like clean in the ring. But from the way that match ended, I think he's gonna be back again. So we'll see going forward how that works out. What do you think, Slick?
I thought the night was great. Kind of piggybacking off you, that was probably the only spot match that I thought could have used some work. I'm not really complaining. I didn't expect too much more from Cena. I also think Rollins and Logan Paul could have maybe used like a little bit longer of the match. I thought it was great, but highlight for me, I think I told you guys last night, the women's main event was just blew my mind. Just absolutely amazing. Exceeded every expectation I had for it. I mean, I knew how great those two women were, but I think we all got what we were bargaining for last night with those two. Partham, what'd you think?
Overall, one of the best WrestleMania nights they've ever produced. Woo! And that includes like WrestleMania Night 1 last year or any other night that they one-nighter or two-nighter. I mean, they were just bangers left and right. And even the matches that seemed inconsequential had their moments. Cena Theory, yeah, for that to open and for it to be largely not forgettable, but not as memorable or as notable as some of the other matches of the night. John Cena not being the most notable thing that night is speaks pretty well to what happened all the other matches.
Mm-hmm.
Seth and Logan, of course, was over the top, both in an entrance and in the ring, and we knew that was going to be the case. The women were okay as far as the multi-woman tag match went. The men were trying to steal the show in the showcase match over there, and I guess you have to heat the Street Profits up a little bit in order for them to maybe eventually split up and for them to go their singles ways. And they might be in line for a tag title match down the line. Rey over Dominic. I mean, great match and great entrances. I mean, I was popping for Eddie Guerrero's music. I was captivated by Dominic's very cinematic, scared straight prison hard
Straight
time.
up,
I don't
he's
think he's
straight out the
scared. I don't
block,
think he's
bro.
scared straight.
He came
I think
straight
he's,
out the block. He was.
Well, that's,
legit
well, I'm sure
right
someone
out, dude.
I'm sure
It
someone
looked like they
attempted
were
to do
bringing
so.
someone fresh off the plane from Rikers Island, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, what did he go back in for? I saw him on like Monday. He's
Yeah.
just back in jail now. He's coming back. What the fuck?
He
happened?
was violating
He's a
parole.
badass.
It was very reminiscent of when they brought Kane out in chains to confront Vince or
Yeah,
Bischoff
yeah.
back like 20 years ago or so.
Did the whole Hannibal Lecter thing.
I will say for Rhea and Charlotte Flair, banger match. They killed it. And
Oh, yeah.
when Charlotte was talking with Ryan Satin about, whether she should main event a night of WrestleMania and pointing out, all the men Royal Rumble winners get it. No, not all the men Royal Rumble winners get to main event of WrestleMania. It's not 99%. It's more like 75 or 80%.
Mhm.
But I think maybe, and Dwayne, you might be able to appreciate this. I think it sort of lit a fire under Charlotte Flair as far as her match quality that night, as compared to last year with Ronda, because she came out with that a little bit of a stoic look, like, I can't believe I'm not main eventing this show. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to tear the house down with Rhea. Not unlike Devin Levi debuting for the Sabres and looking as good as he did. And then the very next night, what does UPL do? He comes out and looks like he's playing for his job, right? Am I not right, Dwayne?
You're right. He is playing for his job. That's a good comparison.
And KO and Sammy versus the Usos was everything we thought it would be as far as storytelling within the match and with all the long-term booking that came before it. And, of course, Sammy pinning Jay was the only way to finish that match. So I can't wait for night 2. As far as matches go, maybe not the same level of storytelling as far as the way they've been built up, but they could surprise us.
I'm very interested to talk about how they're going to do night 2, because I feel like tonight is like last night was I don't know about breakneck pace, but at least the matches were all just like a certain pace. And tonight feels like we're going to get like the full sports entertainment-y night. Like we might start this with like Roman pulling in and some crazy limp. Like it might be following them through the whole thing. Like I feel like we could get the melodrama really tonight.
Yeah.
Amazing. Mike, will you be seeing the haluva kick, like Sammy standing there forever now? Like I think that image will be stuck in my brain when you're talking about like that perfect ending. Like I'll just see Sammy standing there waiting to haluva kick and the crowd going. I've never seen a crowd go as crazy as they were going in that moment, honestly.
Yeah. McAdoo, what were your thoughts?
So I'll start out with the Cena match. I'm so tired of the lazy booking that is knocking the ref over. It's so over.
I know,
it's
dude.
so
Did you watch Stand and Deliver, McAdoo?
Yeah, well, partially. I had it on, but it wasn't like my main focus.
Did you watch the main event though? Did you see the main event or the end of it?
Not really.
Okay, the end of the main event was the rough bump into a tapping out of a submission, like the exact same way they did Cena Theory at the beginning. I'm like, how did these last 2 matches WWE put on television have the same exact book finish?
One thing I want to say quickly is Cena letting go of the move after Theory was tapping and not realizing that the referee didn't see it. I thought that was a veteran move, not a veteran move from Cena. I think he would know better to keep the move locked in until he hears the bell.
That's what I was thinking.
It was like an instant let go too. He saw the tap. It was like, yeah, I'm ready. And then he was done right away.
Go ahead, McAdoo.
But the tag team match, I think, exceeded expectations. I thought the 6-woman tag was a letdown. What was after that? The Mysterio match.
Yeah.
Dom, I don't know how he's a good heel. Like I think I've said on the show before, Ray can never be a heel. He can only be a face. I think it's the reverse for Dom. Dom cannot be a face. He can only be a heel. I think Charlotte, I don't know how she did as well as she did last night after taking the bump she did. I think she kind of earned her stripes, per se. And then I know I'm forgetting one, but screw it. Tag team match, just what an ending there. And it's fitting for Hollywood.
What about Rollins Paul? I think that's the only one.
Oh, that's what of course.
Yeah.
I want to get my favorite guy.
Because it was just naturally. You're just like, of course.
Probably because I hate Logan Paul, but just an amazing match, of course. Always Rollins always delivers, and I think he just makes everyone who he competes against that much better, just to raise the stakes.
100%. Rob Ryan, what was your favorite part of night 1?
I mean, just banger after banger. First of all, I mean, started off slow
After banger.
with Cena and Theory, but then it just kept getting better. I mean, the nights really started picking up with, I feel like, the tag team showcase. They were just flying all over. Braun Strowman was on the top rope. I mean, you got people flying left and right. You didn't know where to look. I loved that match just because I feel like in the past, tag teams were kind of just, if you weren't the top or the number one contender, you weren't really anywhere around. So I really liked that they were showcasing the tag teams last night. And then you kept going. The women's Rhea and Charlotte, I mean, wow. I know we were discussing it last night. I know we slept on it, and I'm still saying that was probably the best women's match ever in WrestleMania history. And then the tag team match, we all know that was going to be great. I think the best part was, and sometimes in the past, when you knew someone was going to win, there was never really the moments where it's like, are they about to lose? But there was multiple times last night where
The 1D?
They got me so many times.
The 1D, the first time ever kicking out of the 1D, there were multiple times. I mean, super kicks to the head multiple times where it's like, how are they about to lose? Like, where does the story go from here if the Usos retain?
It's
Like,
WrestleMania season. It's the kicking out of
It's
finisher
true.
season.
I read that
That's
it's the first time that anyone kicked out of the 1D or the 3D in WWE even.
Oh my
That's
God.
what Fightful had in a post.
no
It's
shit.
the first time that
Even-
move has
even
ever
the
been
Dudley
kicked out of in
Boys 3D?
WWE. Even
That's
the Dudley
crazy.
Boys. That's
Jesus.
insanity.
That is nuts.
That's insane.
And then just cherry on top, that Sammy pinning Jay. I mean, just a overall A+ night. And I think what their plan was, I know we'll discuss it later, but I think they really wanted to get the big bangers in night one, and where night two is really going to be carried probably by that main event and the Hell in a Cell. And I think that's going to be perfectly okay after the night they had last night.
It's interesting too, not to interrupt, because I think I said last night, night two looks so much better on paper. But like to keep that pace, I don't know how they're gonna do it. So
Hey man, you don't know how they're gonna do it, but then we're gonna start talking about these matches, and you kind of look at least I'm looking at 4 right here that could very well live
That
up
are-
to
yeah,
everything
that are
we
great.
saw last night. Dwayne, what was your favorite
First and foremost,
part of
McAdoo better start putting some fucking respect on Logan Paul's name.
Hey, I didn't
James
No.
Logan Paul.
listen.
Mute him.
I said
Mute him right
yesterday,
now.
Logan Paul can
Mute
go.
him right now. Mute him right now. First off, I've been calling it for a year, almost a year now. He will be world champion one day, and it wasn't. I will agree that Seth Rollins does help bring the competition up to his level. But that man is talented. We've seen it so many times so far in the ring, starting with his debut with The Miz, his match with Roman, and even at Royal Rumble. The guy is insanely athletic, and as much as I don't like the whole YouTube boxer thing, those guys kill themselves to get themselves into that shape
True.
to fight in professional boxing, and he's doing the same here in the ring. So I will not take any Logan Paul disrespect, because that is a future world champion. You can underline it, you can star it, you can highlight it and circle it. I said it first.
I don't-
So
Uh,
we'll see.
Dwayne,
do all those things.
with the
Fine,
with the
fine.
news
A lot of
that he only had a 1-year deal that's now up, not rather than a multi-year deal,
Oh.
and whatever new deal he
Give him
may
that.
get, it's going to be just that much higher than he had before.
Yeah.
And the idea that if he's going to be world champion, he's probably going to have to show up a lot more, at least to Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns part-time level.
How many times has Roman Reigns been on TV for this? I mean, come on.
But can they afford Logan Paul
He
for
doesn't
even
have to
that
be a
amount of
he doesn't have to be a
appearances?
long-term champion. He doesn't have to be a long-term champion, but
I
he will
think-
be champion someday.
Hmm.
I
100%.
think the whole part,
AEW.
the whole short time deal with Logan Paul is
Big for AEW.
the whole thing with Logan Paul's short time deal is because he's still looking to do prize fighting. I mean, he just
Yeah.
said he had a deal set up with Nate Diaz,
Yep.
and
that would have been nuts.
yeah, that would be crazy. I'm here for that. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to keep a guy of that stature locked in for so long. But I mean, if anyone can do it with the money they have, I think it's.
I'm sure if he
Do it.
wants to come back, he can come back. He did a little interview after with Kathy Kelly, and he showed him a Triple H or a text from Triple H that said that was fucking awesome or whatever. That was the text said. Like Triple H loves this dude, and it was awesome. It was a great spectacle. Like it was you knew once you saw the Prime bottle out there, like you're like, what is the Prime bottle gonna do?
I told you it was
You knew
KSI.
it was-
I told
he
you it was
can call it
KSI.
KSI, so he's got to be KSI.
I
It's
thought
hilarious.
I
That's
don't
hilarious.
know.
I'd be
Yeah.
interested to hear from Brandon Thurston about if he can figure out how many extra eyes Logan Paul is bringing to the product as opposed to your regular WWE audience.
That's true. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah,
That's a great point.
absolutely. But aside from that, the multi tag match with the Street Profits winning, I enjoyed that a lot. Even though I thought that Braun and Ricochet should have been given the victory. I have always seen Montez Ford kind of going off in a singles direction in the near future, so I don't really see the continuing build of a tag team there.
Talk about future world champions. I think he's one too.
Yeah. So for me, I thought if there was anybody in that, we said it in the pre-show yesterday, if there's two teams that need a push there, it would be the Viking Raiders or it would be Braun and Ricochet, the Brick. So the Brick, baby, that's what they're going to be. But I thought those two teams needed it. So I didn't like the result there, but I mean, they earned their WrestleMania moments for sure. I mean, I almost said Dion Dawkins. Dawkins.
Dude, that shoulder tackle. Oh my god.
Dude, he looks great, by the way.
He does look great.
Yeah.
He's looking good. Yeah, that was a fun match. So
as far as the Profits, like I said before, they're probably just going to build them up, have them come short of the tag titles one more time, and then they can do the split.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I don't even know if it needs to be a split. I mean, it's not like one has to turn on the other. It's I think
maybe do the draft.
Yeah, that too.
That's true.
Yeah.
But obviously, Charlotte and Rhea, put on a phenomenal show. They beat the shit out of each other, which was great. I love that the physical sides of both of them. I'm not a Charlotte Flair mark, but I think that the disrespect she gets in part is because you kind of get overloaded with Charlotte Flair a lot with how many times she's been champion and this and that. Well, find somebody on the roster, face to face who could. I would say Rhea. I mean, Ronda, we're all over Ronda, but Rhea's probably one of the only ones. Maybe Bianca. If stature for stature, that could athleticism. Those two are probably the only ones. So yeah, you do get a lot of Charlotte Flair as one of the two champions. But I love the physicality of that match. It was phenomenal. Great athleticism, start to finish. And then, I mean, there's a real chance that KO and Sammy's reaction to is going to get a bigger pop than potentially Roman and Cody, just because of how perfect that storyline was from start to finish. All the little intricacies, all the attention to detail, just everything about it. And like Sammy said in his press conference after, be able to tell that story the way they did and kind of given the freedom to make their own decisions with it. It was perfect. A perfect ending. The 3 Helluva kicks, after the first one, he grabs Jay by the face and just, I would have loved to have known being able to hear what he said. And the second
he got
one,
really cllose to him. I thought he was going to kiss him.
right?
Like,
Yeah,
honestly.
I was like,
He's
kiss his head or
holding
something.
his face
Like, I
very
was like,
close.
I would have loved it. I know they didn't do it. I would have loved it after the third Helluva kick. He did the old Shawn Michaels to Ric Flair, I love you. And
That's
just,
what we said.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm sorry, I love you." As we were about to watch.
Sorry,
it.
I love you.
Here
And
it is.
that would have been great. And then, I loved it start to finish, man.
Yeah, man.
Even that little throwaway match with McAfee and the Miz, it was great. It was great. So, but yeah, I'm pumped for night 2, even though I got to miss some of it for hockey. But I'll watch it on Rewind. But super stoked.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, everything you guys said was great. Great night 1. One of the best I'll remember in a long time. And but Sammy and Kevin is what I'll remember. Like, if you've been watching Sammy and Kevin from any point, I hopped on there at NXT when they first debuting, and now to this point to see that and the reaction, and then after and everything, it's well deserved, and it was just amazing for any fan of those two, like for how long they've been wrestling together and everything else. It was just so well done. I don't know
That
how
crowd reaction reminded me a bit of Yesselmania.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about El Generico getting a shout out?
Oh
Yeah,
my dude,
that was awesome.
also peak moment from one of my fans
Bro,
of here.
Corey
Michael Cole
Graves-
say El
Michael Cole,
Generico.
and he said El Generico. Corey Graves is like, I'm glad that guy retired years ago.
The incredible stuff. All right, well, let's get to it. We got another night though. There's another night that has to. Now all these guys and gals they watched last night and saw the show that was put on. They know that they have to step their game up, and there are plenty of people that can, including Dwayne. Two people who had the match of the year last year already. So I think that they're pretty capable of it. Gunther, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, triple threat for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Who do you got?
Am I starting?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's gonna be Drew McIntyre because I think I don't know if you guys saw the reports that he's not currently under contract right now.
One more year.
One more, yeah, but he didn't accept an extension or something like that, right?
I don't know if maybe they could put the belt on him just to give him incentive to stick around. That's not a name you want jumping ship over to AEW, that's for sure. He brings a lot of star power with him. Japan, exactly. These guys are gonna beat the absolute fuck out of each other.
Yeah, dude.
There's like I'm not saying there's gonna be blood or like that, but there's gonna be bloody chest, brush burn chest, Indian burns on the chest, back. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be physical. And this is the type of this is a match that can honestly, if not for the fact that Roman has been champion as long as he is, and he's probably due to drop the belt, could steal the night for sure. I think so. Just the physicality of these three, just for all those people who like to say that wrestling isn't real, this, that, and the other, watch this match tonight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Watch what these guys look. Just look at them afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, you just look at their body looks like afterwards. So who you got?
It's gonna look like raw meat all over the place out there, and I can't wait for this match.
Who you have? Who's the pick?
I feel like someone should say Giggity.
Yeah, right. It was a Giggity.
I'm gonna go Gunther.
All right. Dwayner's got on Gunther. Also, Maniac and Talbot on Gunther. So it's 3 for Gunther starting off here. Rob Ryan.
As Michael Cole says, it's fight night. And that's the perfect example of this match. There's just 3 freaking brutes going at it in the middle of the ring. It's just going to beat up. We know Sheamus and Drew, they've had their battles. They've been friends. We just saw them battle a couple weeks ago where obviously Gunther broke it up, and that's how this match became. But we know these 3 can put on a banger, and we know Triple H from Rumble loves what Gunther's doing ever since he was at NXT UK. So I don't see him losing the belt after finishing in the final 2 of the Rumble. So I'm going Gunther.
So we've seen Sheamus versus Gunther and how physical that match was. You had Drew McIntyre in the mix. Oh my god, it's just like it's an MMA fan's wet dream, just per se. But
who's wet
everyone's
dream?
nutting over this match.
No, all over the place for this.
Been nuts 6 times.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm just gonna make my pick. I think Drew McIntyre is gonna hit the Claymore on Gunther. And then Sheamus is going to hit the broad kick on Drew, and that's going to be your pinfall there. And
listen, you can't call the way matches are going to end after I did it perfectly last night.
Nobody. Dwayne, don't act like
that's what wrestling. That's what we do. We book matches.
Oh, dude, come on.
That's life. That's what you do. Go ahead, Bart.
You got your bragging rights. Now pipe down. It's night 2, all right.
Let's give Dwayne his applause.
Yeah.
Seriously,
okay, yeah. There you
go.
go.
We called it.
There was somebody that I can't remember it here told me that there's no way that was going to happen. It's going to be a clean finish for Theory. No fucking way. Low blow after the ref gets dinged up.
Well, there are 3 or 4 ways to do your classic cliche heel shenanigan type of winning, and that's one of the 3 or 4. Anyway, yes, it's big meaty men slapping meat. To coin a phrase.
Let's go. That's exactly what this is.
And there's no other. You don't have to really say anything after that. But as far as who's going to come out on top, obviously Drew with his contract situation, that's more about money. It's not so much about accolades because he's won titles and the main title before. The one footnote about all this, and the fact that it's only been said as a footnote, is Sheamus has not yet won the Intercontinental Championship. That would be a story if they made it a story, but they haven't. They just made it Sheamus and Drew want to go for the title at the same time, and they're both so evenly matched that they had to give it to both of them at the same time. So, I mean, they believe in Gunther. Gunther's being booked to look like a monster. I don't think they necessarily have to take the title off of him in order to make him a world title contender just yet. I think whoever comes out on top will have, especially if it's a new guy in the world title scene, hint, hint, they'll have plenty of challengers lined up for them, either current or returning, possibly. So I don't think they have to take the title off of Gunther. If they were going to, this would be the way to do it with what McAdoo said, having Sheamus pin Drew so Gunther's shine doesn't, go down a little bit. But that being said, they haven't built up Sheamus enough and for this to be important enough to him for it to be something that people are going to be clamoring for at the critical point in the match. So I'm going to, for the safe pick, I think is Gunther.
Yeah, I think to your point, Partham, about Sheamus not winning a IC title, I think that'll happen at some point, but I don't think that's tonight. I think Gunther retains, and the reason that happens is Sheamus and Drew's kind of friendship rivalry, per se, gets in the way and costs one of them the pinfall while the other gets thrown out of the ring or something. I think they hurt each other, and then one ends up taking the pinfall as a result by Gunther. And we kind of get a continuation of the Sheamus and Drew thing, but I think they make up a bit after this. I don't know necessarily how that works and what goes into it, but I think Gunther retains tonight.
I guess I'm the only one picking Drew.
Wow.
I think Gunther doesn't take the pin. I think Sheamus. I think Sheamus takes the pin.
Yeah.
Listen, I went 5-2 yesterday. I did okay.
Oh, shut up.
I think Drew pinned Sheamus to win the title, and then I've said what Parth was saying. I think Gunther is going to be. This is going to be what's pushing him towards going after the main title. Following this, and we don't know what's going to happen with the two titles coming out. We don't know if they're going to get split up again, if that's what Cody wants to do or what Triple H wants to do. So that could be a thing that happens where Gunther is set up to be a number one contender for a vacant title on SmackDown, and that's what we're seeing after this. But I think Sheamus takes the pin from Drew, and then they can continue with whatever they're doing. Also, we were watching NXT yesterday. That entire group is all Scottish, and they are main roster ready. They're the NXT tag champs right now, but at any point they could be called up and be with Drew, and you have them versus Braun Brutes is going to be an amazing match. Whenever it's ready to happen.
Wait. Are we talking about the SWO, the Scottish World Order?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Scottish World Order, Latin World Order would be an awesome
That
match.
would be a
Actually,
great
that
match.
would be awesome.
That's just all world orders. That WWE just becomes every world order possible.
But no, Gallus is ready. Joe, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang, they're ready. They're main roster ready.
Yeah. McAdoo, you stole my exact booking, so that's where I'm at. Finishing this off, I'm with Sheamus. I think we get Gunther Sheamus in London in another one more singles match, and maybe Gunther wins it back. Maybe Sheamus wins, but they give us one more of those there. But I think Sheamus wins tonight. I'm just got a feeling. Let's go to the next match. I have on there here thing listed.
Hell in a Cell.
There it is. Can't put it any better. And Finn Balor, the Demon Maniac, is on the Demon Finn Balor. Talbot does not believe in the Demon anymore. He is out and picking Edge. I'll start here and bring it to Mo, and we'll go around. I mean, I'm not picking against the Demon. There's nothing left. This is going to be an awesome match. I think it's probably the longest match tonight. I think Edge already said he is going to try to do some crazy shit, and we were talking about it the other day. We think that means thumbtacks and fire are the two crazy things that we'll start with. Or with Edge, we can only hope, right? We can only hope. But I do think the violence is going to be on full display inside Hell in a Cell here, but Finn needs to come out, and Judgment Day 1-1. I think they got to come out 2-1 at least. Partham. That's my feeling. If they're 1-2, Edge doesn't need this win. Edge needs to put over Finn here. Demon Finn back, and I just can't wait to see what he looks like with the Judgment Day version. What do you got?
So with the Demon in WWE, he lost in NXT to Samoa Joe in a steel cage match. That's the only time in NXT. Lost in the main roster last year to Roman. And that
to the top,
very infamous.
Yes, he lost to the top rope.
Yeah.
But during that match, looked like an absolute animal and was running roughshod over the entire bloodline. I expect more of that version of the Demon tonight against Edge. Not gonna be a squash. It'll be entertaining and it'll be a back and forth. I mean, it's Hell in a Cell. It's gonna go probably 25 minutes. but I think the Demon is going to win. The Judgment Day, all the purple will look pretty cool. It'll be an interesting entrance.
The purple smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be sick.
What
Talk
you guys
about
like?
entrances. That one's going to be really cool tonight.
I can't wait.
I think you're right, Mo. I think the Demons. It's not going to be a squash, but he's going to control the match, and this is going to be one of those matches where he's controlling the whole time, and everyone's like, "Oh, Edge is like taking some punishment. The ref should consider stopping this," and then he's going to like find a way in his heart to like battle back at the end and make it some heat, make it interesting. But yeah, Jake, you said it well. I don't think Edge has a reason to win this match. I don't really know where Edge goes after this. And after that top rope debauchery last year,
Yeah.
there is no way you can have the Demon come back after that and lose a match in Hell in a Cell nonetheless. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Demon Finn Balor here. And I think this is a candidate for stealing the show tonight.
Yeah,
You're right. You guys are right. With what's happened with the Demon, I think Triple H is going to want to rebuild the Demon, and the best way to do that is get a major victory at WrestleMania over a legit Hall of Famer. Fact of the matter is, Edge already got his revenge with Beth for all that stuff that they did to both of them last fall. So I had it sort of reversed, like that that they wanted to keep Rhea Ripley strong, give her a win in that particular match going in, but I guess she didn't need it. She didn't take the pinfall at least. But this is where Judgment Day gets their groove back, more or less. Beth already had her revenge, but this is Edge's time to help put over I wouldn't say the next generation because Finn's been around for a while, but Finn's probably a guy
Put
to
him over
yeah.
as like a main eventer right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Edge's story with Judgment Day personally has already been finished, but it's just that Finn didn't think it was finished, and he went and cost Edge a United States Championship match, and that's the impetus for this match.
Mhm.
So I think Finn Balor as the Demon will go over Edge. The entrances are going to be over the top. They're going to be demonic. They're going to be scary, and Edge is, I think, indicated that maybe until this year's SummerSlam is when he might finish up. So yeah, he's going to do business and put over the next guy, which is Finn Balor.
Yeah, 100% Finn tonight, the Demon. I still drives me nuts how we never really got an actual. What's so funny?
Nothing. Just go.
Just go.
We'll wait on it.
No, I want to know.
No, because both nights
God,
McAdoo has been starting to talk, and you've just cut him off every time. So I'm sorry. Just go ahead now.
I don't.
It's around, yeah.
Yeah, it drives me nuts that we never actually got like any type of explanation with the top rope thing. Like at least try and work it into a storyline. Like, somebody.
I would rather they just never bring that up ever again.
Yeah,
Really?
I just want to. No, I don't. I want to pretend that never happened. Again.
It's kind of like
Say
the right
Roman
backstage.
Superman punched him and speared him, and it
Never saw.
ended that way, and that's how.
It's
I
like
remember it in
who
my brain.
attacked Hideo Itami
Exactly.
in the Full Sail parking lot.
we
We'll never know.
We'll never.
It's
find out.
just lost
the mystery.
I just hate it. I just me personally, because Finn was just putting on such a banger that night, as you guys expressed beforehand, and it drives me nuts. But no, you had, as I said yesterday, this match is much more important for a Judgment Day win than Dominic versus Ray, because I think you can still continue the Dominic Ray storyline after this. There's nowhere to go with this storyline after this, and it means more to Finn Balor to win than it does for Edge. So
Hell yeah.
Edge is such a guy who can really go do anything. I don't think he, needs this win to catapult him anywhere because he's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the, as Slick said earlier, and I said yesterday, I think this one has in terms of the theatrics of the match, just everything going on even around the match. I think this one has the ability also to steal the show, along with Gunther and that triple threat. So I'm all on the Demon tonight. I can't wait to see what type of pain he comes out in, what his entrance is going to look like with that long ramp. it's going to be incredible. And that's part of the reason why I love pay-per-views like WrestleMania and Crown Jewel, even though I hate everything else about Crown Jewel, is the theatrics. You get that really theatrical side of WWE, and I hope they really at stop at no cost to really wow us tonight with this entrance. So I'm all on the Demon train tonight.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another, banger of a match. Like you guys are saying, I think this will be either the longest or the second longest, depending how long they really want to go with Roman Cody. But I think this is, like you're all saying, the entrances both should be insane. I mean, this will be the first time we're seeing Judgment Day Demon. So, like you said, the purple will be cool. Edge will probably see some fire, everything else that we see when Edge is pissed off. And then mid-match, I'm really hoping for some cinematics mid-match. I'm thinking they can go all out with the Demon, like, I don't know, going through fire or something, thinking he's like dead, the lights go out and he's just somewhere else. I think they can go really all out with this whole thing with the Demon, the cinematics of WrestleMania with Edge. But I
wonder how late it is, how late they wait to do the match to try to get it darker.
That might be part of it.
That's
I think that's
they need this match to be a dark one. But I'm going with the Demon. I think they really need to put him back over. Like you're all saying, that last match, we don't know what happened. We still don't know what happened, but they need to get back on when Finn is Demon, he's almost unstoppable.
Facts.
My turn right now. We're good. Good. Okay.
But it's your turn.
Beautiful.
You can't. How can you go against the Demon in this one? I mean, yes, Edge is a legend and all that, but Finn needs to be built up again. The Demon needs to be built up again. He's not. You need to get him back to that main event, Universal title, whatever. Actually, it's not gonna be called Universal title, hopefully soon. But whatever that world title is on whatever brand he is, I forget. Is it Raw or SmackDown? Does it matter?
Who cares?
It doesn't really right now. Yeah, it doesn't really matter right now.
With Rhea on SmackDown,
I would assume. Yeah,
but he needs to get back to that world title picture soon. And how do you do that? You got to get him a win here on the biggest stage inside Hell in a Cell with the Demon. So, Demon wins.
I love it. And also to a point I think you made earlier, the fact that if there's another title, if they do split up the titles, he would be definitely one of the top 3-4 guys. I think that would be in contention for the said vacant title. I think as a champion and get a run. We
older side too, isn't he, Finn?
He's like 41, 42 or something like that.
Yeah,
but he doesn't look like it though.
No,
like the way he moves.
I was shocked when you told me that.
Yeah, he's older, but
holy crap, I thought he was 30.
Yeah, right.
No.
He's
been wrestling. He's been wrestling for like 25 years. So it's like,
we all picked Finn except for Talbot, like I said, who picked Edge. So McAdoo, I'm starting with you right here, buddy.
Yay!
For the women's tag team showcase next.
Yeah, let's start with me.
Your girl Ronda. This is just what's next on the list, buddy. This was not. I'm trying to give you something here. You got Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and the Karens, as I wrote them when I ran out of the room on my piece of paper. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. What do you got, Snackadoo?
I want to point out.
We lost you.
We lost.
We lost your audio.
No, he's muting me because he didn't check.
We lost the joke too.
Speak. Try to speak.
I am Betty.
We hear you.
Karen.
What's going on?
I picked the Karen.
I don't know.
Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
I don't know what happened here.
Funny.
All right, Mac, did you just go?
He did.
I'm muted still, or what the fuck?
No.
He said the Karens. Moving on.
Partham.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Get a room, you two.
So
Ronda and Shayna are going to win because they're the only team that matters. Yeah, the Karens are nice and evil, and The other two teams, I guess, could win if they were actually booked properly. But no, Ronda and Shayna are going to win. They're going to challenge for the tag titles. That might be the impetus for Trish to turn heel against Becky and Lita. Other than that, not much of consequence. Hopefully they, try to do something to entertain us. But Ronda and Shayna win. And with Ronda's injury, Shayna will probably carry the load and Ronda will get the pin at the end. Slick. Yeah.
I want to pick Chelsea Green and Sonya so bad.
Me too.
But I just don't. I don't know. They'd probably take the pinfall. They probably think they're like right about to win and like they're damn near celebrating before it happens. And I don't even like anyone in this match really, except Liv Morgan. So
I was gonna say
I'm gonna go with Liv and Raquel because I have no idea why anyone else should get the spotlight in this. I mean, like I didn't even really know this match was happening. So I'm gonna go with Liv and Raquel. They seem to like Raquel a lot, and obviously Liv's a fan favorite, so you can't go wrong with having both those two win this match. That's my pick.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you saying Slick. I mean, Liv and Raquel. I mean, I think they're both young. They're both super talented. Liv this like past year has looked like really good, like booked really like well. Winning Money in the Bank, winning the title, and then, I mean, she lasted as long as Rhea did in the Royal Rumble. She came out at 2, or was she 1 or was she 2?
2, I think.
2. Either way,
Yeah.
they were both there the entire time. I mean, she's been booked really well, so this would be a nice moment for her. But realistically, I think it's going to be Ronda and Shayna just because the star power that Ronda still has, that at least WWE thinks she has, even though she doesn't connect with the fans at all. And I mean, Shayna's like fine. She doesn't really connect either, but she, like in ring, she's good. So I could see them getting this win and then going against Becky. And I mean, Becky and Ronda still have a little long-standing feud. So if that's going to be the tag titles going forward after that, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. So Ronda and Shayna. I would rather have Liv and Raquel though.
I'm split.
Hey,
mute it.
He's skipping everyone today.
Yep.
I'm going Liv and Raquel because Raquel is the tag team specialist and all she does is win tag team matches.
That's true.
And her back
is nice. And her back is fucking yoked.
Yeah, she's I'm split between Liv and Raquel, and as Slick mentioned earlier, Chelsea Green and Sonya. And the only reason I say that is because I think like Chelsea Griggs, like somebody you just kind of brought onto the roster. You need to do something with her. You've done a lot of promo time with her with Adam Pearce. I don't know. I'm gonna go Chelsea Griggs and Sonya. I'm gonna go with my gut tells me I'm gonna go with them because strictly because of Chelsea Green and just her emergence onto the scene. And it might not be a great tag team run, but I feel like they want to do something with her, and this is a good way to do it. I think that Ronda and Shayna might even take the pin just because I think that's a match maybe for SummerSlam, Ronda versus Shayna, a match that we, haven't really ever gotten yet. And, we've talked about a lot. And I think it's a good way for probably Ronda to probably take one of her breaks from TV for a while and, maybe build Shayna in the future. I don't know. So I'm gonna go Sonya and Chelsea.
Rob Ryan.
Yeah, I think this match just shows the problem they have in the women's tag team division right now. That there is legit no tag teams. We're looking at Liv Morgan and Raquel, who they keep trying to push as solos, which they just keep stopping short of. We have Natalya, who's just is on the way out. She's soon to be done. Shotzi, who's just kind of just a mid-card level person right now. Ronda and Shayna is the only real tag team. They've been friends for a while. We know they'll have their solo match, so why not have some tag team success, break them up, the great story of tag team splits, and then the Karens. I'm going with the only real tag team here, Ronda and Shayna.
All right, we're pretty split on that one.
No one picked
Natty and Shotzi.
So that means they're gonna win.
Me, Slick, and Maniac all on Liv and Raquel. Talbot, Partha, Mo, and Rob on Ronda and Shayna, and McAdoo and Dwayne on the Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. So we are down to the final 3 matches here of night. And if it's anything like night 1, the last 3 matches are going to What?
Brock and Omos is not going to be like
It's gonna
any
be a
of the
banger.
matches for
A 5-star match.
What are we talking about here? What do you mean?
This
It's going to be about the entrances are going to be longer than the match.
No.
Yeah, the entrances are going to be longer than the
Just
match.
Cowboy
Well,
Brock
we
extravaganza.
talked about potentially the reunion of the Hurt Business.
Potentially,
during
yeah.
all
This
that.
is a good spot here.
I think this is a good spot where I know we mentioned, Bray Wyatt's been in and out of conversation. Maybe
Who knows?
Apparently,
Who knows? I'm not
I've
counting on
read
him
a
at all
lot
for
that
anything.
Uncle Howdy is there.
Well, maybe he is because he's Vince
Hmm.
McMahon. That's why.
Not Vince McMahon.
It was always Vince.
Oh.
Vince definitely dropped that elbow. What are we
Which-
talking about?
okay,
He's the
Did
one
you
that
guys
dropped
see-
30 feet from the
Yeah,
air.
of course.
Did you guys see Vince's dyed black hair
Did
and
you see the
mustache?
mustache?
Oh,
Did you guys
the
see
legit mustache. Yes,
Yeah.
the legit
Yeah.
mustache.
Oh,
Oh,
looked
man.
great. It was awesome. It was so.
He looks
hilarious.
like he
Looks like
should be in a
Slick.
Mexican prison.
He should be
On
in
that
prison
note-
regardless, but
On that note, I'm
The
picking
newest
Omos.
addition to the Latino world order.
Yes, sure.
Oh, God.
Maybe that's what inspired him.
You're
Maybe
picking
that's
Omos?
I'm picking Omos because Omos needs a fucking win, dude.
mm,
Like Omos needs a big win. Brock does not need a win. This is the time. Put Omos over. Get him a nice win, and just do it. It's time. He's lost so many of these matches. Like if he
No,
loses
don't
another
do
one,
it.
there's no point in
Get rid of
Omos.
him.
There's no point in. They're not gonna get rid of him. Like there's always a spot for a giant, and he is one of the most athletic guys they've had in that spot. So I'm with Omos. What do you got?
I'm going with Brock. I mean, I think Brock flew in last night. He's flying out right.
I
after
think
this
he's
match.
flying right now.
He might be flying right now. Flying in from Canada right now. He's gonna fly out right away. He's just here to get his paycheck and leave on this one. I don't know. I'm just going with Brock. It seems like the safest way to go. Slick.
I think short and sweet is the theme for the preview of this match. I think the only reason this match is happening is so that the crowd can see Brock Lesnar suplex and F5 something
F5.
someone the size of Omos. It's solely for that. And then, like you said, Brock's going right back to Saskatchewan after this.
Yeah.
I'm going Brock Lesnar, suplex, F5, 1, 2, 3.
yeah.
Yep.
This has Hogan Andre written all over it, not in that hype level or in popularity level, but the idea it's the irresistible force versus the immovable object, and the crux of it is can Hogan slam Andre and can Brock Lesnar suplex an F5 this big Nigerian giant? And you're right, Jake. He hasn't been booked well, which is why would they start now if they haven't started before in the Vince McMahon era where he's been losing to all these other guys? Why?
A hope and a prayer.
Why would Brock lose to Omos on this big stage here? I mean, Omos has been going over on the segments. Whoever goes over on the go homes and
It's true.
whoever has been booked as the underdog. And when's the last time you saw Brock Lesnar booked as the underdog? Brock Lesnar with an expression of actually hesitation and fear.
I don't know.
So that's where you
Taker, maybe.
get to the show and he finally, wow, Brock Lesnar's the underdog and he overcomes the odds for once in his life. Yeah, Brock Lesnar should suplex an F5 Omos for the visual ooh and ah of it, and just make it short and sweet. Get to it within 5 minutes, and then go home. Brock Lesnar.
Snackadoo.
We're dissecting this way too much. Oh, there's no way Lesnar's coming here to lose. That's just as simple as that. Now, what happens after the match is a different story. Maybe we see Brock
Ooh.
Lesnar come back, and that's how we see the Hurt Business reform. But for the pick's sake, Lesnar wins.
Yeah, I was actually thinking this whole time Omos just because, I mean, Brock doesn't really need to win. Doesn't really matter anymore. If he wants a championship, he can just get it. But listening to y'all, I think I'm gonna. Oh, I got my cowboy on now, y'all.
Y'all.
I'm gonna go with Cowboy Brock. There's probably gonna be something else. I know Bobby's been tweeting about wanting a match still. Even after the KSI thing last night, he tweeted, I didn't think I had this about my open challenge, but why not? So I don't know if he's going to do something after this match, but I'm going Brock.
Dwayner.
I hate Amos so much. I have zero interest in anything.
Why he doesn't say his name
Omos.
right?
Omos.
Omos. I don't really care. That's how little I care about. I don't even care to say his name correctly.
Almost.
Almost.
He's almost a giant.
I'm going to treat him like Jericho treated Fandango when they had their WrestleMania match. I was going to say his name wrong constantly. No, I think Brock wins because I think this is a Vince booked match, and I don't think there's any way Brock loses to Amos, Emo, or whatever. I just don't care. Furthermore, I think it still will lead to the resurgence of the Hurt Business in some way, shape, or form after the loss. I don't know how they do it, but I think I absolutely hate everything about this match. I'm sorry. I have zero interest in it.
All right. Well,
I mean, this is essentially Vince's boy versus another Vince's boy, not unlike Austin Theory and John Cena.
It's true.
So
if
Vince was booking this, he'd probably be conflicted.
I will gladly be the only person taking Omos here because I think they stuck to my future theme pretty well last night. Except Ray won. Ray did win, but Dom looked pretty fucking
Ray,
like a superstar.
Ray wins. Ray won Mania. He's gonna lose at Puerto Rico.
Well, fucking Bad Bunny ruined it. Dom would have won.
Wow.
Goddamn Bad Bunny. So now
Fucking
we go to the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair and Asuka. I'm gonna be short and sweet here. This match is gonna be awesome. This is in-ring talent through the roof. They're going to put on a show, especially after what they saw Charlotte and Rhea do last night. They're gonna try to exceed that. I know that they're gonna try to exceed that. I'm not picking against Bianca Belair, so I'm sticking with Bianca. I will say Maniac and Talbot did both pick Asuka to go. I think this is the start. I think Bianca's going to escape, and then maybe Asuka turns a little more, even more vicious at the end, and that's where we see it. And then we keep this thing going with Bianca and Asuka a little bit. But I'm sticking with Bianca at WrestleMania.
You can keep it going, but you can still have the title change at Mania. I think Asuka, since she's come back, has just been on a tear, and that she's going to rip through Bianca, and she's going to pick up her win at Mania. I'm going with Asuka. Slick.
Yeah, Asuka has been on a tear, but oh man, these girls are so talented in the ring, and if I had a coin right now, I'd flip one. But for the sake of me I'm gonna go with the exact reason that Jake picked, and I do not bet against Bianca Belair, so that's where I'm going.
McAdoo, I'm gonna defer to you for a second because I'm kind of conflicted on this too.
Great, of course you are.
He doesn't know either.
I don't need
today.
I have no idea, but I know that the WWE fans have been waiting for the Killer Clown. Is it gimmick for Asuka, the Killer Clown?
Yeah. Yep. Kana.
That's what I thought it was called. So I think
No one knows
80,000 people, you have to give them what they want, and you got to go with the Killer Clown. Asuka wins.
I love it. Partham, you can't avoid it anymore. Oh, you are. Okay.
All right. This is another one that can go either way. The whole thing, I'm trying to think back of if they've ever had all of their main champions switch all in the same show. We've already had the SmackDown Women's Champion switch. We're most likely thinking that the undisputed WWE, whatever they call it these days, is switching. Are they really gonna have all three switch in one night? I don't think so. So I think I'm gonna go Bianca, but I do think I agree with Jake and Slick that this feud's gonna continue going because I don't think the talent on Raw is on the same level as it is on SmackDown. So I'm gonna continue with going Bianca here. I
love it. That you honestly, you kind of said exactly what I was thinking, Rob, about the titles going on. That's a great point. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Yeah.
I like Asuka for this. I think that she's had a pretty good run. I like the change in theatrics with the mask and the face paint and all of that. So, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the short build they've given this. So, I'm not saying I'm tired of Bianca Belair, but I think it's time for her to maybe take a step back and do something else other than be champion. And I think it's time to give Asuka a run here. Change is never a bad thing, so I'm going to go with Asuka.
Okay. I don't know that they've built Asuka up enough. Not being the Royal Rumble winner, she won the Elimination Chamber to get this. Yeah, people were enjoying the Killer Clown, but is she really getting that much over with the crowd that they're clamoring for her to finally get one over in WrestleMania and win the title? But I feel like she's one of Triple H's girls, is she not? Is she not?
Oh, yeah.
Something Triple H likes. And
Probably
because
the girl at this point.
Didn't lose a match in NXT.
Yeah, never lost in NXT before she got
He, like,
even though she didn't win the title.
Goldberg treatment.
Yeah.
And because they kind of did her dirty by having Charlotte go over her unnecessarily, I think, a few WrestleManias ago. And Bianca's had such a long reign as champion. I think she can go on to something else, like I think Slick said. I mean, Bianca's good for business. I mean, she appeals to, little black girls and black women across the country.
She's about to get a TV show on Hulu with Montez Ford also starting up soon.
Okay. So maybe
the season opener come here losing the title.
Yeah.
True.
And then the drama of having to work through that. Sure. You know what? The way they booked this is the can they coexist thing. One of them hasn't really gone over on the other. They haven't had a pull apart brawl where one's been standing tall, I don't believe. So let's go with Asuka. Let's go with something new and fresh. If this is Triple H's first WrestleMania, if he's as big on Asuka as the past indicates he is, then sure, I think Asuka would be the safer bet.
That's going to be a great match. I cannot wait.
For sure.
Cannot wait. All right, so we're here, guys. We've made it to the time of the show. Rob Ryan's fist pumping around here. McAdoo looks very nervous just even thinking about the thought of this match right now. I want to start with you, McAdoo. I need to hear where you're at. We are now. You've been on a great, as long as I've known you, really. This has been an amazing run for you. We're on 11:05 a.m. So probably about 12 hours. Well, this is Central Time, so it was 11 Central Time. Maybe it'll be over by now. So maybe in about 11 hours, 10 and a half hours, the Tribal Chief will be coming down to the ring for potentially the last time as the undisputed Universal Champion. So what are your feelings going in as you look confidently with your Universal title there?
Well,
that looks like a title that Hasbulla would wear.
I would give it. I'm not spending $500 on a new title yet, but
Fair.
I mean, well, my emotions now, nervous.
Right now, yeah. Okay.
Right now, we're nervous because I know there's conflicting stories out there that saying, "Oh, Roman's gonna have it for 1,000 days. Cody's winning it. He's back to win it. He's gonna finish the story." And neither one of them is really swaying my pick here. So I know yesterday I was confident in Cody, but now I have no idea.
I don't think I'm very confident either way, honestly.
He can pass. I did.
We don't have to pick yet. I didn't want picks. I want general feelings.
I'm going last now.
Okay, yeah.
General.
Let me go. Let's go this away here.
Yeah.
All right. As Cody's been saying in the interviews, he can't wait to be champion and do all the champion obligations and the interviews and the tours and whatnot. Roman's been rumored to take a break. Even regardless of whether he loses the titles or not, I think he's going to have to finish whatever storyline there is with the Bloodline and Jay, and specifically. So maybe he'll, even if he loses the titles, he'll stick around for a month or two. Some people are saying Cody hasn't suffered enough, at least in the immediacy, like we talked about yesterday. But I think it's Cody's time. I think you have to finally finish this overall arc of Roman Reigns. If it's the fall of the Bloodline, you have to do it all in one night or 2 nights, all in one event. You can't just have the tag titles be lost and then the main champion still hanging there and berating his cousins about you lost the titles and whatnot. Maybe that he'll still berate them regardless of whether he loses the title or not. But I think the majority of the reason there'll be a split is, and I'm going to book this a little bit here, at a critical point in the match, and yes, there's probably going to be a ref bump, so be prepared.
Jimmy
and Jay come down. It might take them a little time with that big ramp, but then just as they get to the ring, who comes out of the crowd but KO and Sammy? Now they don't fight with them necessarily; they just stand there in their way. And Roman is looking at his cousins like, come on, just fight your way through and help me out over here. I don't know where Solo is going to be at that point. Is he going to be at the ring already? Is he going to come out with his brothers? Maybe. Will we see him at all? I don't know. But Sammy is before all this. We should get some backstage segments of Roman being disappointed in
100%.
his cousins, especially in Jay, berating Jay, looking down on him and saying, "You disappointed us. You let down the family.
100%.
Now I got to be the one to take care of this family. I got to bring the bread home," or whatever the heck.
Mhm.
And then it finally dawns on Jay in that moment at when he's near the ring.
Don't you dare!
And then Jay just turns to Jimmy and they look at each other and they're like, "The heck with this." And then they slowly turn around. They walk back up the ramp with Roman, with this shocked look on his face. Oh my freaking God, you did not just do that. And then he turns around out of nowhere. Cody hits a move. 1, 2, 3 crossroads. 1, 2, 3, new champ. So Cody goes over and he wins the titles and he finally finishes his story.
Slicker.
Yeah. Cody gets his moment. I'm excited for theatrics. I think I'll just leave it at that. We all know this is going to be something else. So I think Cody finishes his story and makes his dad proud.
What you got?
Part of me talking about people saying Cody hasn't suffered enough. The Rhodes family has suffered for 40 years under the rule of Vince McMahon. It is time for Cody to avenge all of that bullshit and being Stardust and everything else he's had to put up with. Having to fucking leave WWE and start his own company for Vince to respect him enough so he can come back and beat this fucking loser Roman Reigns for the finally and get his ass out of here. I want him so fucking gone. I can't stand him. He's been champ for too long. If Cody doesn't win, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I might be done too, actually, if Roman wins.
Oh,
It's so
I can't keep
good.
predicting against him.
They're gonna lose too many people if Roman wins.
Yeah. Cody, that woe is gonna send just shockwaves through all of California. I think when that music hits, and maybe the amount of pyro that's going to go up. I think that you hit about it. The struggle there. The pre-match video, the hype video, should get considered for Emmy or Oscar nomination, probably with what they're gonna pull off with that, and that's gonna show enough of the Rhodes history and I think the Reigns side, the Inoue family, and just pull it all together very easily for somebody to watch. And those are the best things about that's what they do all these segments for, is for this hype package.
Everyone gonna be able to watch it though, or are they gonna do the split commercial shit again?
I've never gotten a hype package mixed up with a commercial.
I got a couple of hype packages and the rest
of
commercials.
The smaller matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think I'm gonna book out. I'll give you guys what I think is gonna happen for in 3 quick things of how this title picture works out. I think Cody wins tonight in what you're saying, Partham, a chaotic, overbooked mess of a main event, which is going to be so much fun, and it's going to bring a lot of people, a lot of different dramatic spots and everything else. I think Roman goes away till SummerSlam. I think there's a way that they can get a trilogy of these matches. Roman gets him at SummerSlam, comes back, no bloodline. You're just like, what's Roman going to look like without the bloodline? Decimates Cody, just destroys him, wins the title back. At the Rumble, you have your trilogy there. Cody can win it back, or if you want Roman to win, whatever. And then however you go into the future, Rhodes going into Mania next year. I think this is the start of Rhodes' reigns. Maybe we go away from it till SummerSlam, but I do think that it could be anybody thinking of a potential Dusty finish tonight, because that's
how apropos.
I could see it, and you get a little bit of what happened there, what was going on, and that's how you keep this thing going and get Rhodes and Reigns, the rivalry itself, as kind of an iconic thing. But it has to start tonight, and it has to start with Cody winning tonight. Dwayner,
I've been waiting. I've been on the American Nightmare train since well before AEW was ever a thing. I've always liked Cody Rhodes. I hated how they did him dirty. It's with the Stardust gimmick. I'm sure Cody getting a chance to team with his brother and to work with his brother all that time, it was probably like a dream come true for him. But I thought that, just the storyline and the way his character was handled was god awful. With that being said, a couple things. I hate the fact that we've gotten, I think, Roman on TV since since Royal Rumble to kind of like, what is it, maybe 2 or 3 times? Is it right? Sounds about right.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
I hate how long, this match deserved a better build than this, and it should have been done more with Roman. And I think it did the fans a disservice, which is why I think that the pop that KO and Sammy get might be the same, if not better, than what Cody will get tonight. And I think WWE kind of did that to themselves. With that being said, I think the shenanigans in this match are what are going to lead to a eventual end of the bloodline where it's going to be Jay versus Roman, as I said last night. I don't think Jay walks away from the ring, though, as McAdoo said. I think he super kicks Roman. Finally just get like all the bullshit that he's dealt with beforehand, being the right-hand guy, main event Uso, but having to put himself, everything he had to put himself through to be that guy, and just the verbal ridicule from Roman. And it's going to continue tonight, the verbal abuse in promos and vignettes, I think. And I think that it's going to lead to a huge SummerSlam showdown between Roman and Jey Uso, which I can't wait for, because that's the only way, in my opinion, you end this storyline is how it began, right, with Jay and Roman. Him getting his redemption over Roman, and then Roman probably takes a vacation and then returns, much like the same way he might have did when that SummerSlam event where you won't see it coming. I think it's going to be a situation like that when you get the Roman return. We won't see it coming because that was awesome. So I think Sammy and KO will be involved in some capacity. I think you have to have them involved in some capacity because they were just ingrained in this storyline with Cody, to help build this storyline while Roman wasn't there. So I again, no other way to end this match other than with Cody raising both titles. And and to McAdoo's point earlier, the 1,000 days thing, I know I've mentioned that once before too. That's why they should have split up the titles at Royal Rumble. Which one is he held longer? The Universal title?
It was,
Universal.
but the thing is that the distinction is when they unified it, there's no split. There's no 2 titles anymore. It's just 2 belts title.
Yeah,
so that's
which is why they're unveiling the new belt probably either
tomorrow, maybe tonight.
It might be tonight.
Yeah, who knows?
After
Shit,
the
maybe
match.
it's
or tomorrow with a belt presentation to Cody on Raw to kick off Raw. I could totally see that too. The way they did with Austin when he won the belt from Shawn Michaels after WrestleMania.
They did the same thing with Brock when he beat Cena back at SummerSlam. Yeah. It was the next night.
So I could definitely see that. And again, I'm super excited for the final minutes of this match and see how it all goes.
It's gonna be very.
It's gonna be so just like last
gonna be
night,
crazy.
Dwayne. Just like last night, we were talking about during the Sammy match where there were still points where we were like, "Dude, are the Usos really gonna win this?" There's gonna be so many moments where Roman is gonna have Cody down for 2.9999, and Cody is going to hold it as long as possible.
A wild card in all this could be Solo Sikoa. We don't know what's going on with
the whole
Solo.
bloodline.
Yeah.
The whole bloodline.
I will say, if
Jake
super kicks Roman to finish this match, it might be a bigger pop than Ray hitting Dominic for the first time. Although I would not want to necessarily do that to take the shine off of Cody winning clean over Roman, but that would be a moment.
It might be a bigger pop than Sammy hitting Roman with.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Yeah.
I mean,
it might be the story of it might be that not one person can bring down Roman. It needs to be the bloodline, and it needs to be Sammy and KO, and it needs to be Cody, all like taking him down in one way in the match. Yeah.
At some point, Jay super kicks Roman tonight, whether it leads to him losing or at the end of the match.
Even if it's on accident, even if he's trying to super kick like KO and he misses and it's
on accident.
On accident.
Or at the end of the match, after his celebration, Roman's still sitting out there. I mean, I don't know.
Bloodline beatdown of Roman. The brothers just go.
No.
And just beat the
Roman
shit out of
berates Jimmy and Jay for not helping him.
Yeah,
and then finally Jay
that
just
might be
says,
tough. You know how long this celebration is going to be? What they're supposed to do is lay there in the ring and outside.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna put out $5 billion.
I mean,
they
did it last night. They kept showing Logan sitting outside. They kept showing Charlotte sitting outside. So maybe they were foreshadowing something.
That's true. Great point, Rob. Rob, what do you get into it? What do you got here?
Oh, I've been waiting for this day, hopefully, for 900 and how many days we going on?
945, I think, today.
I have gone on this show every time except on Elimination Chamber because I knew that he wouldn't lose right before he had to face Cody. But every time before then, I have came on this show and have predicted against Roman Reigns, and it is not stopping tonight. We are finishing this damn story. Cody is coming up on top. I am not acknowledging the fraud anymore.
Fraud.
He will be going
I was
down.
wondering who
Paper
started that. That was
champion. Paper
No more
champion.
head of the table bullshit. No more tribal chief. He's a low total
Mickey
pole
Mouse
WWE
champion.
after tonight, and he can
He's a
go on his
paper
merry
champion.
vacation, and I'll see him when Jay beats him up at SummerSlam.
I like the fact that, like, too, while you were talking, Rob, not to interrupt, but, like, kind of like how Kevin, who was honestly before Sammy, probably the closest guy to taking the belt off Roman, right? He should have.
He had the most shots at it.
Yeah.
He had a lot of shots at it. Yeah.
Sammy came extremely close to taking the belt off Roman. And in fact, I think he did get a 3 count, didn't he? Like, but the ref was
Mhm.
Most
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
his past competitors have got 3 counts.
Yeah,
that's the whole,
Owens
that's
did
the whole
too.
impetus of this is that they either should have won or could have won or were that close to winning, and then some interference or shenanigans or referee.
That's why I like
whatever.
the idea of
Yeah,
everybody
full-
has to
full
take
circle,
Roman down.
homie.
Like you need everybody to jump
Can
in
we,
to get
can we
him
just
out.
have a second ref at ringside ready to come in?
Yeah.
Right away? When the inevitable guy gets bumped, he's ready to run out.
McAdoo, I
I
know
mean,
we're
I'm
clamoring to
bringing
get to you, but that would be a stipulation I want to see one day, that a babyface is smart enough to point at the heel and say, okay, you're not going to get away with any shenanigans because I'm going to have troubleshooting referees on
True.
the outside.
Something I thought of. What if they did the opposite of that? I've been thinking about this for weeks now,
No
and they
refs.
did it like Rock Austin, where the night of they announce it during the day that it's no DQ
No
all of a
disqualification.
sudden, and we get and they're just like, we'll invite the chaos, like let it all. Come
Honestly,
in.
it
or
would
it
work
would have
well.
been cool.
It would work great.
No
Austin
DQ
HBK.
lumberjack match.
Oh my god! Austin HBK,
you know what?
special enforcer, guest referee, and make it
Yeah.
Jay Uso.
Oh, there
One
you
second,
go.
McAdoo. Lumberjack match, and the referees are the lumberjacks, so they're all impartial.
And
But, all right, McAdoo.
and the
all right,
bloodline is the lumberjack.
Snack
let's
McAdoo
get
go,
to
yeah.
McAdoo. I know he's got that universal title. He wants to hold on to it. He wants Roman to hold on to it. So, how are you feeling?
So, in my head, while you guys were all talking, I was like, you guys talk a lot about Jey Uso. What if it's Jay? Like, what if Roman wins tonight, and Jay's the one who ends up taking it off?
Mm.
Is that
We
a
missed that.
possibility here?
We missed
Is
that.
How
that-
do
we
you?
missed
But
that
how
time.
do you? But how do you build that match? The only way to build that Roman versus Jey Uso thing is to have Jay. I don't see a Jay versus Roman match with the belt involved.
To be honest, McAdoo, it sounds like you're coping.
Yeah, a little bit.
You guys let me finish my
He's
story.
trying to find scenarios.
Delay
in
the
his head where
inevitable.
Yeah,
Roman's
exactly.
title for some like. I get it, bud. I get.
Taking 5
He's like,
minutes
is that a
every other
possibility?
match.
Here,
No
we need
one
like
more
30 more
obvious.
days.
Listen tonight, and this is good. This will be a good clip. This will be a good clip for you guys to clip out.
Hmm.
Tonight for McAdoo is to me what it was like when they traded Dominic Hasek. That's what tonight's going to be like for him.
That's the
That's the
that's a tough
angst
night.
he's about to go through. That's the trauma he's about to go through. He like him tonight when Roman
Oh,
dropped the belt
boo-hoo.
for me is when they traded Dominic Hasek. My idol, my icon, the whole reason I started watching hockey and playing hockey was because of
Yeah,
him.
no, here's the difference, Dwayne. Here's the difference: is Roman Reigns has been champion for 2.5 years, and the Buffalo Sabres, unfortunately, were not. So Dwayne,
but
which
you
is
understand
bad.
where I'm going with that though is like
but
you got the
but
greatest
this,
goal
I'm just
scorer of all
saying,
time.
let's get this man out of here. Let's get Cody
No,
Rhodes
I
up
understand
here.
that. I understand.
Get
All
that.
right,
that
all
bitch
right,
ass
all right.
up here,
From a
McAdoo.
fan perspective, look at him. Look at him.
He's
back
dead.
there.
He's dead in the
McAdoo, would you like to give a
From
would
a
you like to
fan-
give a
Finish what I was going to say.
McAdoo,
from
would
the
you like to
fan-
give a eulogy for the bloodline while you can?
From the fan
That's next week.
from the fan of the individual perspective, it sucked for me because he was an idol of mine. Same with him with McAdoo. That's the trauma he's about to get ready to go through. And
Roman
I
Reigns
feel
is-
you, bud. I feel you.
So, let me finish what I was gonna say first. So you have Roman who's mad at Jay and both the Usos for losing the titles, right? So that's where the split happens. I don't know what they can build. I'm not a WWE writer yet, so that's how that happens. With that being said, the last 2 Manias I've gone against Roman.
What?
It's happening again tonight. Cody Rhodes wins.
Oh! Wow! Wow! That was
David.
Back attack.
well
He
done.
throws the belt
McAdoo.
like it's the
Threw the
24/7
belt
title. Oh my
away.
goodness.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have a
It's the 24/7
clean
title after he
sweep
loses
of
tonight.
the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
I
And
just
that
gotta
is
say-
terrifying.
Can you
The tribal
like?
fraud.
Do you guys remember when we were in the Thunderdome and the
Yeah.
Fiend just beat Braun Strowman for the Universal title, and Roman
Yeah.
Reigns just came out of nowhere and speared the fuck out of the Fiend? That
knew?
night, I had no idea that we would end up here so
That's true.
long after that.
That's
If you
true.
told
I
me
didn't
back
remember that's
then-
how it happened.
That the guy
Oh,
that was
man.
gonna that was gonna take this title off Roman and end this reign of terror was gonna be Cody Rhodes. I would have said,
God.
what?
He was
That's the part.
And with
that
with
part.
Vince
he was
McMahon
the
gone,
TNT. He was the inaugural TNT champion at the time.
but not in
Yeah,
charge.
they just beat Sammy Guevara. Oh yeah, he was the inaugural. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
19, yeah.
I mean,
So Roman's been champion for as long as AEW's been alive.
Not quite.
You're on
Well-
TV.
No, like a
no, not
no,
quite.
they were like a year before, because AEW was going, and then they were the show was going, and then COVID happened.
Yeah, that's right.
They had started in that
Oh,
October.
yeah.
Double
So it was like a
Nothing
couple
was
months.
like
You're right. You're right.
Double
It's like-
Nothing
Most
was
of the existence, yes.
2019
Yeah.
Memorial Day, right?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
yeah, their first show, yeah.
Yeah.
TV show started in October.
Oh my
The
god.
following
It's
August.
nuts.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that part is incredible. That if you would have asked, I mean, even last December, if you would have asked Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania Night 239 in Hollywood main event, we would have been like, "What the fuck are you talking about?
I would have
Are
said
you
what?
taking crazy
I would have
pills?"
said what? Did Vince buy out AEW or something?
Yeah, right.
Where did Cody first? He came. Royal Rumble was his debut, right, in 2021.
No, Mania.
No, it was Mania.
Mania.
Oh, it was
This-
Mania.
this-
Oh yeah, he
to
came
the-
out for Seth's
20,
opponent.
2022 Mania against Seth.
Yeah, he came out for Seth's opponent.
So a year from now. Well, I don't know what date Mania was last year, but it might be a year to the day.
I think it is.
Yeah.
What more needs to be said? We're all predicting the demise of the bloodline.
What could
About
go wrong?
time.
What could go wrong?
It's about time.
What a
What
beautiful
could
thing.
go wrong?
What a
I will
beautiful-
say, Rob, that's why your point was so great earlier during the Bianca match, because Bianca and Roman basically just don't lose. So if Roman is this surefire going to lose, or maybe he isn't. If Bianca wins, if Bianca loses, I'm gonna be terrified.
Yeah, I'm gonna be scared.
Very scared.
What are
That's
the
why I really want
betting
Bianca to
odds
win.
on Cody?
What about
Cody was like a minus. I want to say.
oh, odds?
I couldn't get him up on my computer earlier. I know that Bianca and Oscar are like minus
550,
110 and minus
minus
130,
Cody Rhodes is minus 550,
and Roman plus 300 or something.
plus 325.
That's pretty good for
Probably.
wrestling. That's like a
Yeah,
Slight
compared to
underdog.
Bianca and Asuka, they're both like 110 or 130. It's basically a pick 'em.
pick 'em. Yeah,
Hold on.
it's gonna be nuts.
Hold on
I
one
can't
second.
wait.
guys. Hold on.
What's Omos and Brock?
Oh, gee.
Yeah, that's a
Minus
good question.
10,000.
Give me some
Brock.
Omos.
Is it even on this list? Because it's only like here's the important matches, and
This is the most
I don't have a
important
thorough one. I don't have a thorough one in front of me.
Alright.
I know. I'm pretty sure Brock was favored.
I could see that being a straight pick 'em. But I could also see
I want Brock to get 3 minutes of offense in on Omos, and Omos to just fucking kick out at one. That's my dream of this match.
Sad McAdoo.
Uh,
Sad McAdoo.
what are we doing here?
I don't know.
There is odds that Brock Lesnar will F5 Omos. That is minus 1,000.
Just the F5.
you know, that's gonna look crazy.
I want to jump back quick. We talked about night one earlier. We completely
jeez.
overshadowed the fact that Chad Gable Chad Gable did that rolling German to Braun
Oh,
Strowman.
Oh my god.
We didn't talk
Yeah.
about that.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Wow.
That
Dude,
was
that's
If you
like
want
a
to talk about
total-
someone looking amazing in that match, Chad
Well,
Gable.
That was insane.
Ricochet shooting star press to the outside,
That
Yes,
was
oh
where
my
he just
God.
hung in the air.
Dude, that's what I literally said as it happened. I was like, he's floating right now.
Every guy in that match had a good spot, just about right.
It was
Like,
beautiful.
Had a good
It was
moment.
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Very, very well booked.
That Dawkins shoulder block, though, I felt that
Dude.
in my couch. I
Dude.
was like, oh my
Dude.
God, my chest.
Everybody was off their couch when that happened, and then
Ooh.
immediately within less than 10 seconds after that, you have that shooting star press from Ricochet from rope to rope. That was nuts.
Oh, man. What a night. All right. Night
Okay.
2, guys.
Idea. We've talked about this in the chat. Should we try to do a streams at least for the main event?
I'd be in
of
for
this
it.
magnitude
We'll discuss later. Yeah.
I wouldn't even
see what
mind doing a post show. Just do a
on
post
streams. Yeah.
Show. Yeah,
Talk
or
about
just do a stream like this. I mean,
Emotions are gonna be high.
Emotions. Yeah,
Yeah.
that will really be
Depending on
wrestling
how-
emotion.
Depending on how
audience-
long a
the
Sunday
audience is
pay per view
very
ends.
Yeah,
Our
let's
audience
let's
be
play
very-
it out. Let's play out how late it
We'll
gets,
talk
for-
about it.
especially for you East Coast gentlemen.
Hmm.
We'll see where that ends up at. But yeah, I mean, guys, we're just all jazzed. We've been waiting for this for how long? Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Like we've known even before the Rumble, we've kind of seen where it was laying out, and today's the day. We're here. Let's get it. Slick, take us
great
home.
times.
Tonight, it truly will be not wrestling with your budget, not wrestling with your conscience, but we will all be wrestling with emotion. Good night now, and scissor me, Mo.
It's not. I can't do it out here. It's not,
You gotta
gotta
get
get closer.
I'm right over here, Slick.